Okay, we're back. All right, guys. Waiting for my lovely chatters to come back in. Let me see. There's one. I don't know if it was Verizon or YouTube. I wasn't even talking politics when they shut me down. They're evil. But I'm back. Okay, I was talking about what? Cheese. Hi, Waxy. No, it isn't the heat. It isn't that hot today. I guess YouTube finally figured out that I said a few political things. I should save that for the end when I don't care if they shut me down. Okay, so I'm not sure what I was saying or when exactly I got shut down, but this community is wonderful. The churches have been giving away things like bread and fresh produce. The food banks have tons of canned food and government cheese. Oh, use code. Yeah, like, let's see, the checking of deal is if everything is on the up and up, okay, fine. But that doesn't mean we don't get to check just in case and confirm. And President Manchenko actually won. What's the big deal? I've never heard of Wahlburgers, but I was shocked because I don't shop at Walmart, but I went there with someone else and they were serving food. They had a little counter with cheeseburgers and French fries and other stuff. A government cheese is usually Velveeta, but in a box that doesn't have the Velveeta label. Velveeta really isn't that bad if you melt it and add some cream and flavorings and turn it into a sauce, but I don't like cheese on my vegetables. I'm strictly butter and salt. Well, I don't know. Anyway, the churches give fresh produce and bread and some canned food. The food bank, thank God they ran out of that frozen chicken. They had just the legs, the drumstick and the thigh together, frozen solid. And I swear those chickens were the size of turkeys. They're huge. And I'm only one person. I don't eat that much. Yeah, Velveeta and American cheese and Cheese Whiz. Mom used to get Cheese Whiz and melt it and put it on my lovely vegetables like cauliflower. I don't like the cheese sauce on my veggies. But anyway, Cheese Whiz came in a little glass jar, and once you popped the lid off, you had a little, like 2 or 3 ounce drinking glass. Back in the days before we got so hyped about child safety, you'd use those little glasses for children to drink from because they didn't need 8 ounces or 12 ounces. Cheese sauce with real cheese, I might have liked it. I had no clue how they made those lovely cheeses for fondue pots. Evil Verizon. They throttled me again. And I was talking about cheese, for crying out loud. Okay, so what you need is you start with what they call beurre manier. On a low flame, you melt butter with an equal amount of flour. So if you have 2 tablespoons of butter, you have 2 tablespoons of flour. Mix them together, and that's beurre manier. I can't spell it, it's French. French doesn't have to make sense, it's French. You melt it on a low heat or a low flame. And then when the flour is cooked but not brown, maybe a little golden or maybe just clear, then you start slowly adding the cream or milk if that's what you've got, or half and half. Stir it in, and the presence of the flour will help the cheese the grated cheese, not chunks, to whisk in and actually mix with the liquid. As long as you keep whisking it over a very low heat. Don't get impatient and turn the heat up. You'll just burn everything on the bottom of the pan. Just keep whisking it. And if it isn't thick enough, do not use more flour. It'll just mess it up. Just mix some cornstarch. In some countries, they call it corn flour. Mix it with cold water, mix it up real good, and slowly put in maybe half a teaspoon at a time until you get the thickness you want. Grateful cheese. Yeah, I love cheese. I'm not thrilled with the mild cheddar. I don't know. Don't like it. I want at least medium, if not sharp. And Tillamook is the best. From the Tillamook Caves in Oregon. Sorry, Wisconsin. Wisconsin makes a lot of good cheese too. And I like their butter. But when I discovered Kerrygold Irish butter, it's imported from Ireland, so it's horribly expensive. Horridly with a D, not a B. Anyway, but I can just put a little Kerrygold on a Ritz cracker and I'm in heaven. But it's horridly expensive, so I usually go for something like Challenge, or what's the one with the Indian? Land O'Lakes. Land O'Lakes must be Minnesota. But that area has really excellent dairies. And of course, California has Altadena, the only dairy in the entire state at one time, not anymore. Now there's 2. But at one time, Altadena was the only dairy in California that was allowed to sell unpasteurized milk. Their herds were that clean. Yeah, the Land O'Lakes, Lady Waxy. Why are they erasing Native Americans from our culture? That doesn't help Native Americans. Let's see. American cheese is more embarrassing than the last half century of presidents, but Tillamook is okay. Well, crystals of cheese. Oh my. Oh, oh yeah, they erased Aunt Jemima. It's all okay. I think we're back. Oh, if only I. Yeah, at one time, Altadena had the only certified herd to make unpasteurized milk called raw milk, but now there is a second one called Rock View. Goes all the way into Washington, and the prisoners do all the work. Imagine that, putting. Uh-huh. It's on and off, or off and on. The title, Waxzilla versus Bagora. Monday part 2, huh? Oh, at least there's no brush fire on the mountain. Okay. I have 7 lists. Oh, I don't. This has to be Verizon. I'm not talking politics. I'm trying to use up the last of my so called high speed internet because it resets tonight. And then I get a refill to start over again. It was much worse when I was on Masters of the Genre, which you can find on YouTube. And yes, Cardinal Sin now around 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Things with my phone because it already does things in my yard. So have next week, if not sooner, to go.